President Trump set to deliver a significant address to world leaders during the United Nations General Assembly today. Prepare for a pivotal moment in global diplomacy, as President Trump is scheduled to speak at the United Nations General Assembly in New York at 9:50 a.m. on Tuesday. This event draws a multitude of global leaders, including allies and adversaries, ranging from the president of Iran to various U.S. partners. During a recent conversation with reporters, Mr. Trump shared that his speech would touch on both positive and negative global developments, particularly highlighting urgent issues such as Russia's ongoing invasion of Ukraine, an aggressive act he is striving to halt, and the Israel-Hamas conflict in the Gaza Strip, which he has criticized as a considerable disaster. This duality of hope and challenge illustrates the complex web of international relations that characterizes today's world. Moreover, White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt indicated that Trump will also reflect on his administration's foreign policy victories, prominently featuring the series of ceasefire agreements he claims to have facilitated during his presidency. However, a controversial backdrop surrounds this year's assembly. Several U.S. allies, namely the United Kingdom, Canada, and France, are expected to announce a formal recognition of a Palestinian state, a step that has drawn disapproval from both the U.S. and Israel. It remains uncertain whether this contentious topic will make its way into Trump's commentary. In New York, Trump is anticipated to engage in discussions with leaders from Ukraine, Argentina, and the European Union, emphasizing the importance of international collaboration on pressing global issues. In a surprising commentary on the Palestinian state recognition effort, Secretary of State Marco Rubio remarked that it is entirely irrelevant amidst continuing hostilities in Gaza. He added that this initiative feels more like a self-serving project for the involved leaders, rather than a genuine attempt to mediate peace, potentially complicating negotiations for a ceasefire with Hamas. Rubio stressed that there is currently a unique opportunity for conflict resolution in Gaza. The only global leader who possesses the potential to unify efforts for peace is President Trump, he claimed. He noted that various countries, including those involved in the Palestinian recognition push, are urging Trump to take an active role. Today, an important meeting will convene with numerous Muslim-majority states, including several Gulf nations, in hopes of charting a course towards peace in Gaza, securing the release of all hostages, and enabling safe humanitarian aid without empowering terrorist factions like Hamas. In the context of ongoing global tensions, Trump's upcoming speech arrives as his administration distances itself from UN organizations, having withdrawn the U.S. from multiple agencies, including the Human Rights Council and the World Health Organization, while simultaneously reducing its financial support for the UN. This withdrawal stems from criticism of the UN's stance on Israel and what Trump perceives as the inefficacy of global intervention efforts. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is also in New York this week, rallying support from European allies and the Trump administration for continued military backing against Russia. The protracted war has become a notable frustration for Trump, who previously expressed confidence in resolving it swiftly due to his ties with Russian President Vladimir Putin. "I thought Putin would be amenable to a quick resolution, but disappointment set in as the conflict dragged on," he noted during a press conference last week. In a related note, Polish President Karol Nawrocki might address recent incursions of Russian drones into his nation's airspace in his upcoming speech, while Trump classified this as a potential mistake, a notion that has been firmly denied by Polish officials. Meanwhile, it was revealed that the administration is aware of Russia's offer to maintain compliance with nuclear warhead limits under the New START treaty when it expires next February, though only for a year, showcasing further complicity in nuclear arms discourse. On the security front, the U.S. Secret Service has made headlines by dismantling a vast telecommunications network that posed a threat to this week's General Assembly meetings. In a notable operation, law enforcement uncovered extensive SIM farms across various sites in New York, enabling encrypted communications capable of overwhelming cellular networks, raising concerns about potential disruptions during the high-profile gathering. As the world tunes into President Trump's speech, he is expected to share insights on American leadership and highlight his administration's accomplishments, while reflecting on how global institutions have arguably weakened the world order. The overarching goal of his address will be to negotiate peace amidst a backdrop of global challenges, including the ongoing conflicts in Ukraine and Gaza, both of which he categorizes as critical areas needing urgent resolution. The UN General Assembly, a long-standing institution comprised of all member states, serves as the primary platform for deliberating major global issues, from human rights to climate change. As it convenes this year for its sessions, it also marks the 80th anniversary of the United Nations, emphasizing the theme, Better Together, 80 years and more for peace, development, and human rights. This assembly represents not only a chance for dialogue, but also a moment for the world to reassess its collective priorities and responsibilities moving forward.